Hello and welcome to Total Television. Today I'm pleased to be talking to Bridget Cosgrave, the Director General for Digital Europe. Bridget, we've not had the chance to talk to Digital Europe before on Total Television, so can you start by telling us about the organisation and what its role is?
With pleasure. Digital Europe is a leading trade association in Brussels focused on bringing the views of our constituency, the telecommunications equipment vendors, the IT hardware and software companies, and the manufacturers of consumer electronics companies to the European institutions. We represent some 60 multinational corporations, as well as 40 national trade associations from all the member states of the European Union, and we are focused to send our messages to the European Parliament, the European Commission, and the member states of the European Council.
And what are you doing at the moment? I think there are some initiatives taking place about helping to reduce the ICT footprint on the environment.
Indeed, the environmental agenda is a very important aspect of the Barroso II administration policy agenda. And with the energy, the environment, and the climate change commissioners, Digital Europe is working closely to address those challenges. Specifically, we have two particular areas that we're working on. Firstly, in February 2010, we launched the ICT for Energy Efficiency Forum. This is a global initiative which brings together 4 associations, Digital Europe, together with Tech America, the Japanese Business Council of Europe, as well as the Global E-Sustainability Initiative, otherwise known as GESI, and our 4 founding member associations are working to deliver efficiency of our own products, which represent 2% of the carbon footprint, of the global carbon footprint, and as well as looking at solutions on how to reduce the impact of the other 98%. This is an initiative that has come from DG Information Society, and so it is a working relationship that industry has with the European Commission, and in particular we're looking at how ICT solutions can reduce the footprint for the energy sector, the construction sector, and the transport sector.
So you're keeping very busy at the moment by the sounds of it.
Indeed. We also have a second agenda on the environmental footprint, and that is looking at the recast of the waste of electrical and electronic equipment. As we know, the question of waste of such equipment is preoccupying for many consumers as well as many regulators. There is an existing European directive on the topic which is under recast to be redrafted, and Digital Europe is working closely to ensure that the scope, the methodologies, and the financing of the collection of such waste is done so that it advances the agenda for the consumer as well as not placing too heavy a burden on industry.
What do you see as some of the restrictions on increasing productivity in Europe and lowering unemployment at the moment?
The principal issue we see for improving the jobs and growth agenda of Europe is the digital single market. If Europe can come forward with a unified, harmonized digital single market, we will ensure that there will be more entrepreneurial spirit, that new content-related platforms and legal purchasing platforms for consumers as well as businesses to use online services, content, and services will be a growth vector for the European economies. So we are working closely with Commissioner Barnier's department, which is the DG Internal Market, where there is currently a legislative proposal to look at how we can eliminate such burdens that prevent further growth in this domain.
Now, I know you travel extensively across Europe. Where do you see areas of potential?
We see potential indeed in all the member states, and in particular with Commissioner Nelly Cruz, who is responsible for the European Digital Agenda. With her launch of the Digital Agenda Initiative in 2010, we have been visiting all the member states to look at how the horizontal enabling capacity of the digital sector can create opportunities for European citizens. This includes areas such as e-government, in an environment where governments are suffering from budgetary constraints. Increased investment in ICT can improve efficiencies in government procedures, bring better services to consumers, and reduce costs. Likewise, in the area of e-health, we see huge opportunities for reduced costs and greater efficiencies. I also mentioned the transport sector, so intelligent transport systems to address the question of mobility. All of these type of programs are important when we look at the grand challenges of Europe, such as the demographic challenge, as well as the economic growth that we are all seeking so urgently.
And these are really key roles for you in delivering a competitive Europe.
Indeed, because whenever we look at the European public policy agenda, we are always doing so in the context of a global environment. And Europe, it's very important for Europe to stay focused on its global competitiveness position, because we need to have the growth in addition to that which is emerging in other regions of the world.
Well, Bridget, I'm glad we managed to catch you on one of your trips to London, and thank you very much for talking to us.